If you're a small business owner or a content creator, I want you to seriously consider something. Not in a dramatic way, not in a fearful way, but in a strategic way. Because the biggest shift happening right now is not loud. It's not announced with warning signs, it's quiet, and that's what makes it powerful. AI is already influencing how your customers think and decide. When they search online, AI suggests answers. When they scroll social media, AI decides what they see first. When they compare products or services, AI filters their options before they even notice. That means the environment around your business is already being shaped by systems that move faster than any human can. And here's the uncomfortable truth. AI is not replacing talent. It is replacing predictable work. If your business depends mostly on repeated patterns, writing similar captions every week, editing videos the same way, responding to similar emails, designing based on the same template structure, AI learns those patterns quickly. And once it learns them, it performs them faster, cheaper, and at scale. This is why some creators are now producing 5 pieces of content a week, while others struggle to publish one. It's not because one is more creative. It's because one built a system and the other is still relying only on manual effort. Speed now compounds. Consistency compounds. Clarity compounds. So the real risk is not AI replacing you. The real risk is your competitor using AI while you continue doing everything manually. And in the next few years, slow execution will quietly become very expensive. So in this video, we're not going to panic. We're going to understand what is actually shifting, which business models are losing pricing power, which ones are gaining leverage, and how you can position yourself on the strong side of this change. Let's start with what customers are actually paying for now. Now let's understand what is really changing in business. This is not about technology becoming smarter. It is about customers becoming more selective about what they pay for. In the past, when someone hired you for a service, they were paying for your time and effort. Time was limited, and effort was visible. If something took 5 hours to create, that effort justified the price. But today, AI reduces the time required for many tasks. Writing captions, drafting emails, summarizing reports, even generating video ideas, these can now be done much faster. So naturally, customers start asking a different question. Instead of asking, "How long did this take?" they start asking, "What result does this create?" Imagine 2 businesses offering the same service. Both deliver social media posts, both design graphics, both edit videos. On the surface, they look similar. But one business uses AI to speed up the production process, which gives them more time to analyze performance, adjust messaging, and improve strategy. The other business spends most of its time just producing the content itself. After a few months, the difference becomes clear. The first business is not just delivering posts, it is delivering direction. It understands what message works, what audience responds, and what content leads to actual inquiries or sales. The second business is still working hard, but it is working mostly on execution. This is the shift. Execution is becoming automated. Direction is becoming premium. AI can generate many options. It can give you ideas. It can even structure content. But it does not understand your specific market, your local customer behavior, your brand personality, or your long-term positioning goals the way you do. That human judgment is now the real asset. So the real question for every small business owner and creator is not, "Can I use AI?" The real question is, "Am I building value through thinking or only through doing?" Because doing alone is becoming cheaper. Thinking, positioning, and decision-making are becoming more valuable. And when you understand that clearly, you stop fearing AI and start repositioning yourself. Now let's look at which types of services feel this pressure first. Now let's talk about where this pressure shows up first. And this is important because many small businesses and creators are already feeling it, even if they don't fully understand why. Imagine someone who built a service around writing social media captions. For years, that worked well. Clients needed content regularly, and writing consistently takes effort, so the service had value. But now, AI tools can generate dozens of caption ideas in seconds. Not perfect, but good enough to start. So what happens? The client begins to question the price, not because the writer is bad, but because the task itself feels easier. The same thing is happening in design. If someone only sells ready-made templates or simple graphics without deeper brand thinking, AI design tools and template platforms reduce the uniqueness of that offer. The client sees similar outputs everywhere. So again, price becomes the main comparison. Video editing is another example. Basic cuts, subtitles, resizing for platforms, simple transitions. AI tools are improving very quickly in these areas. That doesn't mean video editors are disappearing, it means basic editing alone is no longer premium. The value shifts towards storytelling structure, hook optimization, retention pacing, and creative direction. Content writing without strategy also feels this pressure. If someone produces blog posts without understanding search intent, positioning, audience behavior, or brand voice, AI can generate similar content very fast. So again, the price becomes difficult to defend. Even repetitive admin work follows this pattern. Manual summaries, basic reports, organizing raw data, these are predictable tasks. And predictable tasks are exactly what AI handles well. Now here's the key point. These skills are not useless. They are foundational. Every strong business still needs writing, design, editing, and systems. But when these skills are sold alone, they compete on price. When these skills are combined with thinking, positioning, and business direction, they compete on value. And value is always more stable than price. So the real issue is not that AI is replacing skills. The real issue is weak positioning. If your service is described only as a task, it becomes replaceable. If your service is described as an outcome, it becomes strategic. And that is where the real shift begins. Now let's flip the perspective because while some models are losing pricing power, others are becoming stronger than ever. Now let's flip the story because this is where most people misunderstand what is happening. AI is not only reducing value in some services, AI is also creating new leverage in others, and that leverage is growing quietly. The businesses that win are not the ones using the most tools, they are the ones using tools to remove friction and improve decisions. Think about two small businesses offering similar services. Both create content, both post online, both try to grow, but one business still spends most of its time producing content manually. The other business uses AI to assist with research, draft messaging, test variations, and repurpose content faster. Over time, something subtle changes. The second business has more room to think. And thinking time is power. Because when you are not stuck producing, you can improve positioning. You can refine your offer. You can study your audience more closely. You can test different headlines. You can adjust your pricing. You can improve your brand clarity. AI does not replace that thinking. It protects it. And that's the real opportunity. For example, imagine a local service provider who struggles to explain what makes them different. With AI assistance, they can test multiple value statements quickly. They can simplify their message. They can experiment with tone. Instead of guessing for months, they iterate in days. That speed creates confidence. This is why some businesses feel more stable right now, even in uncertain markets, not because they are bigger, but because they are clearer and faster. So what grows in the AI era is very simple. People who sell outcomes grow. People who sell clarity grow. People who build systems grow. And people who build trust grow. Trust is still human. Trust is built when your message is consistent, your tone is steady, and your delivery improves over time. AI can assist your execution, but it cannot replace your identity. Execution becomes easier. Direction becomes premium. And the business owner who understands that shift early builds a long-term advantage. Now let's make this more specific and look at the types of models that become stronger in this environment. The first model that grows is strategy-led work. This is when you don't just do marketing tasks, you decide what marketing should look like for that business. You help them choose what to say, who to target, and how to connect content with sales. AI can help you produce content, but strategy is still a human advantage because strategy depends on context. The second model that grows is personal branding and trust building. People don't follow content, people follow confidence. They follow a point of view. They follow someone who feels consistent. AI can generate posts, but it cannot create a real reputation for you. That reputation is created by your choices, your examples, and your consistency. The third model that grows is community-based business. Whether you are a creator building an audience or a small business building a local network, community wins because it is relationship-driven. Relationships take time and trust. AI cannot replace that connection. The fourth model that grows is service providers who integrate AI but still think like humans. They deliver faster, they test more ideas, and they still guide the client with judgment. That combination becomes powerful because the client gets both speed and confidence. And the fifth model that grows is education and simplification. Small business owners and creators don't want complicated instructions. They want clear steps. They want someone to reduce confusion. The person who can translate AI into simple workflows becomes valuable. If you notice, all of these models share one thing. They don't depend only on doing tasks. They depend on thinking, positioning, and outcomes. That's why they get stronger. Now the question becomes personal. How do you know where you stand today? Let's make it simple. Here is a very simple way to assess your own risk and your own opportunity. I call it the 3-question check. It's ultra practical and you can apply it even if you are not technical. First question, is your work predictable? If your work follows a repeated pattern, AI can assist it or automate parts of it. That does not mean you are finished. It simply means you should not build your entire value around that pattern. You should automate the predictable parts first, so you free time for higher value work. Second question, do you get paid for output or impact? Output is the deliverable. Impact is the result. Output is, I edited a video. Impact is, the video held attention and increased inquiries. Output is, I made 30 posts. Impact is, the posts led to leads, sales, or trust. The more your offer is tied to impact, the safer you become because impact is not a commodity. Third question, can you package your thinking? This is the biggest upgrade for both business owners and creators. AI makes producing content easier, but packaging turns your knowledge into a repeatable product. It could be a workflow, a content system, a brand kit, a messaging guide, a creative direction document, or a weekly plan that someone can follow. When you package your thinking, you are no longer selling labor, you are selling direction. If you apply these 3 questions honestly, you will immediately see what should change. You don't need to learn everything. You simply need to redesign how you create value. Now let's apply this to small business owners first, because this is where the fastest wins are. If you run a small business, your advantage is speed. You don't need committees, you don't need approvals. You can make a decision today and see results this week. That makes you powerful, but only if you use it. Here's the ultra-safe truth. Most small business owners don't need AI for big futuristic things. They need AI for the boring things that slow them down. Drafting follow-up messages, creating a weekly content plan, turning one idea into multiple posts, responding to common customer questions, organizing meeting notes, preparing a first draft of a proposal. These things steal time, and time is your most expensive resource. When AI removes that time drain, you get something back. You get attention, you get focus, you get the ability to work on decisions that actually grow the business. Improving your offer, improving your customer experience, improving your brand clarity, building partnerships, training your team, showing up consistently online. And let's be honest, customers don't buy only because your product exists. They buy because they understand it quickly and they trust it. That's branding, that's messaging, that's clarity. AI can assist the process, but you decide what your business stands for and how it should feel. So the goal is not to become an AI expert. The goal is to become an AI-assisted operator, a person who runs the business with more speed and better clarity than the average competitor. Now let's talk about creators, because creators are entering a new era. Creators are not being replaced, but creators are being outpaced, and that difference matters. Today, AI can help with scripting ideas, hook variations, repurposing, captions, titles, and even basic editing workflows. That means the creator who builds a system can publish consistently without burning out. And the creator who tries to do everything manually often ends up stuck, even if their content is good. So your role evolves. You are not only a creator anymore, you are a creative director. You decide what the video is about, what the key message is, what the emotional point is, and what the audience should do next. AI can assist with drafts and variations, but you set direction. Here's a simple example. One long video can become multiple assets. It can become 3 shorts. It can become a carousel post. It can become a short newsletter. It can become a FAQ clip answering common questions. AI helps you repurpose, but you still provide the point of view and the human tone. And for faceless channels, this becomes even more powerful because you are not limited by filming time. Your advantage is structure, clarity, and consistent publishing. When your workflow is smooth, your channel grows like a machine, but the voice still feels human because the thinking is human. So the creator who wins is not the one who works the hardest. It is the one who builds the best system and stays consistent. Now let's address the biggest mistake people make, because this mistake blocks growth completely. Most people make one of 2 mistakes. The first mistake is fear. They watch AI news, feel overwhelmed, and then they freeze. The second mistake is denial. They tell themselves this is just a trend, and they delay learning. These 2 mistakes look different, but the result is the same. Nothing changes. A safer and smarter approach is simple. Small experiments, weekly improvement, no pressure to master everything. You don't need 50 tools. You need a small workflow that saves time and improves output. The best mindset is this: AI is not your identity. AI is your assistant. You decide what matters. You decide what's true for your business. You decide what your brand stands for. You decide what quality looks like. And here's an ultra-practical way to move forward without confusion. You create a 30-day plan. You pick repetitive tasks first. You automate or assist them. You package the learning into a repeatable system. And you publish what you learn, because sharing your process builds authority. Authority is not hype. Authority is clarity plus consistency. When people see you understand the tools and the strategy, they trust you more. That trust becomes attention, and attention becomes business. Alright, here's the 30-day plan, and it's designed to be simple enough for anyone. Here is your simple 30-day plan. Week 1, write down 10 repetitive tasks you do every week. Choose the top 3 that waste the most time. Week 2, use AI only to assist those 3 tasks, not to replace your thinking, but to speed up the first draft. Week 3, package what you learned into a repeatable workflow. That could be a weekly content plan, a message template system, a brand voice guide, or a simple process your team can follow. Week 4, share the results publicly, because sharing builds authority, and authority builds trust. If this video helped you, comment below with 1 sentence. Are you already using AI, or are you still watching from the sidelines? And tell me what you are: small business owner, content creator, or service provider. I read the comments, and I can create the next video based on your industry. And if you want more easy English tutorials on marketing, branding, and content systems that work with AI, subscribe to Brand Locally. We keep it practical, we keep it simple, and we focus on what actually grows your business. Remember, the future is not AI versus humans. It's humans who use AI with clarity versus humans who ignore it. I'll see you in the next video.